What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. So, Apple, outside of its normal traditional release schedule, dropped iOS 17.2 Beta 2 and watchOS 10.2 Beta 2 last Thursday, about midday here on the East Coast. And again, this is outside of their typical release pattern, but I wanted to give it a long weekend to see just how well 17.2 Beta 2 and watchOS 10.2 Beta 2 held up over the long weekend. So we had a full day Friday, full day Saturday, full day Sunday, and then 2 half a days basically from Thursday and today. And I wanted to tell you guys how it's worked. Couple of good, couple of bad. Again, this is still a beta. Can't really get upset with Apple when it doesn't work smoothly, like even traditional betas in the past have. Now, having said all that, I will jump right into it and tell you guys battery life is always the first question in both betas that we got, and I can say watchOS 10.2 Beta 2 is phenomenally better. Now, battery life for iOS 17.2 seems to have degraded just a little bit. Let's go ahead, jump into the devices. I'll show you our battery settings so you can see exactly what we've kind of tracked for the last 10 days and go from there. So first things first, again, the phone is actually staying cooler than what we've kind of experienced in the last beta, even to the touch when gaming or actually doing some high resource usage on the phone. It has stayed cool and been much more pleasurable to use, basically. Like I said, going to talk about the battery first here, going into the last 10 days, you guys can see, again, as of when we got the update Thursday, half a day through, you can see about 9 hours and 16 minutes of screen on time. Friday was down quite a bit. And then obviously on Saturday, 8 hours and 10 minutes. Sunday, 7.5 basically. And here we are at Monday. But you can see exactly how much more we've averaged from the days prior. This isn't for a lack of usage. It has just not held up to the same battery life from the prior beta. Again, not crazy, not drastically different, but there is a slight deviation here from what it was in Beta 1. I'm hoping still, just to talk about the next update you can kind of expect, I am hoping, today's the 13th of November, we actually could get Beta 3 as quick as tomorrow on the 14th, or more likely they'll skip this week and go back to the normal schedule next week on the 21st. I don't see it going much further past that. This should be when you should anticipate getting Beta 3 for iOS 17.2. Having said that, everything else has been running much smoother. The animations have been on point as well. There hasn't been any of that real lag or looks like it's dropping frame rates since Beta 1. That is definitely good to see. I can tell you too, and again, like I said in our other videos, we don't use journaling too much, but it looks like they've kind of made it where it looks a little more thorough and usable. In the prior memories and moments it wanted you to write for workouts and everything you've done, it didn't compile it quite as good as it looks now, so I'm not sure if that's just because we haven't used it enough to see the difference or this is a change in Beta 2, but I did just want to throw that out there for you guys. And one of the most talked about changes that has worked very well in the few times we've used it is now in the video app, you can actually get to the point where you can use spatial video recording and be able to utilize it in 1080p, 30 frames per second. So if you're going to want to record this, there is a setting now in the actual video app where you can, or video settings, where you can enable this. We turned it back off. We're not going to use it right now. It doesn't look any different on the phone, but it is an option now in Beta 2 as well. So I did just want to throw that out for you. Again, keep in mind it is limited to 1080p, 30 frames per second. If you were to go into your settings app again and go into the camera, you would be able to find it in here and be able to see right where you need to do under Forms and Video Capture Spatial Video for Apple Vision Pro right there. Again, it lets you know a minute of spatial video is approximately 130 megabytes, so not massive in size since it is only 1080p, but it will still fill up your storage somewhat faster. Aside from this now, jumping into watchOS 10.2 Beta 2, a couple things here. So going right in, if it wants to let me in here, it is much smoother. Everything does seem to be working pretty well. All the compilations seem to work. Widgets seem to work pretty well. I have had, and I'm going to put it on my wrist, more consistent issues with double tap. I know Apple's really talking this up and speaking about how much they really want to utilize this. And you can see right now, it is working pretty seamlessly, but I found if you don't have your wrist angled, even if the screen is active at the right degree, it won't trigger it. So obviously, nothing's going to happen there because it's facing away from you. So when you're looking at yourself, you can see now again, we're 50%. And now we're working a little better. So it has been inconsistent. I do just want to call that out in this beta. Again, not the end of the world, but it is something that has been less consistent than it was in beta 1. So I'll be interesting to see, again, if we get beta 2 tomorrow or later on next week on the 21st when iOS 17.2 drops as well. But battery life has been much better with this beta. I can tell you the charging level, if you have it optimized to only 80% charge, has been only charging to that. We had issues in beta 1 where it actually went to 100 still. That seems to be fixed here also. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Just a long weekend takeaway. Let us know if you're using either of these betas, what your experience has been in the comments below. Make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.